Hey guys, Kara here. I'm back today to talk about multiple sclerosis and Kundalini, shakti pot transmission, Kundalini Maha yoga, nervous system disorders, well, one of them. And really, I would love to learn about you and your nervous system and Kundalini. So I'm going to share a little bit about my experience. Because I've always wondered if there's a connection between the Kundalini and the MS. So for me, I was, mid-20s when I discovered this Shaktipat Kundalini Maha Yoga practice. I didn't know what I was getting into. I had heard about Kundalini in a book, Autobiography of a Yogi. Paramahansa Yogananda would mention, he just mentioned Kundalini in there a few times, and I just became really curious about it. Anyway, the seed had been kind of planted, and that was in India, where I was like, I was always kind of a spiritual seeker. And then when I got back from India, I just was really like, Kundalini was like on my radar. And there weren't too many classes out at that time, it was like 2004, 2005. But I found just a normal Kundalini class with, a lot of like breath work and music, whatever. And it was fine. It didn't really, I liked it, but it didn't really have some profound effect on my nervous system right away. If anything, it would have like calmed me down. But then I moved to Berkeley, California, where I would happen upon this Kundalini Maha yoga practice, learned about in the back of a Whole Foods. There you have, these like flyer boards back by the bathrooms or whatever, and there's a sign for free yoga, free Kundalini, and I was like, whoa, yeah, okay, sign me up. Where do I go? So what happened, you go to this class. In this case, we were sitting in a room. The guru character was like on his throne in the front of the room, and the first part of the class, he would look at every person in the eyeballs, eyes open transmission. Supposedly the energy is like coming through his eyeballs, coming into your eyeballs. And then it's supposed to, awaken this dormant Kundalini that lies within all of us. And so, the eyes open, like it was weird at first. I didn't know what I was doing, but then there's the eyes closed part, and I think I could relax more at that point. I'm just talking about the first class here. So, eyes closed part, then the guru walks around. This guru, in this case, was this orange-wearing character from Texas. He wasn't, it wasn't some like, I don't know, but he had learned from some, the lineage, like, came from India, Kashmiri Shaivism. And yeah, anyway, so this Texan guy walks around and everyone's eyes are closed now, so he puts a finger on your forehead, third eye, or on top of your head, whatever, and does the energy transmission that way. And that's what really affected me profoundly, even that first time. I just, at least I just started crying. I don't know, maybe it was my heart opening, heart chakra, I don't know, but that's just what happened the first time. And it was really strange, and I didn't know what was happening, so I kept going back. And I just kept going back. And then eventually I went to a retreat where it was just like really intensive, not nonstop Shaktipat, but we'd go to sleep and eat and stuff, but there was a lot of this Shaktipat transmission happening. And so then after that retreat, like I would just try to I would try to practice meditation. I would try to sit cross-legged with a, good posture. And when I would do that, like I would be at work, just trying to practice meditation, like on my lunch break or something. And with a good posture, I would start convulsing. And I didn't know, I've never had a seizure before, but it felt to me like what a seizure might feel like. just like uncontrollable convulsing in my body. And it just was disconcerting, to say the least. Like, I just wanted to be able to, like, sit and have good posture and not have a seizure. So I quit going to this place because I was scared. And then I moved out of California, I moved up to Oregon, and then, so like a year later, after I quit going to that, a year and a half or something later, I was diagnosed with MS. And, you know, my first MS symptoms, optic neuritis, I lost the ability to feel my feet, I couldn't really walk. And it was all like really fast, pretty like definite diagnosis. I mean, I did have a spinal tap because I wanted one. I just wanted to make sure that it was really MS, you know, so I requested a spinal tap. The people were like, Kara, it's pretty sure anyway. And I was like, no, spinal tap, please. Well, I was in nursing school and I thought, I want to know what a spinal tap is like so that I can have better empathy for my patients, you know, when I have to help them through their spinal tap. Anyway, I digress. So, whatever. I never had like seizures like I did with this Kundalini stuff. But there was such a close link in the timeline of everything that I've just always wondered. And you know, eventually I went back to that Kundalini Maha yoga place. I was pretty, you know, okay with my MS by the time I went back. It was like 8 years later. And I wasn't really having any MS symptoms. So whatever, I went back to this place in Berkeley with the Texan guru, and I would like immediately start having these kind of like kriyas, I guess, but convulsions, but not as strong as it was 8 years prior. And at this point, it was just this like really like sort of strong surge of energy coming through my body, almost orgasmic, and you know, I liked it. I kind of liked it. So I just kept going and going and going and going. I kept going back, and you know, I don't know. And then I eventually stopped. So I just don't know. I don't know if there's a connection. I've heard that there's quite possibly a link. That if you have like a premature Kundalini awakening, it can cause damage to your life and body in all these different areas. Can just really kind of go wrong. And you know what? I feel like that's what happened to me. I became totally ungrounded after, like, with that practice. I like, all I wanted to do was just like be with God. I didn't care about really anything here on planet Earth. I didn't care about career, making money, like being healthy. I just wanted to like be in this sort of far out spiritual state. So it really wasn't helpful for my life here on Earth. But I think over time, you know, I've kind of evened out a bit. I've still got some work to do. And I don't really feel like I have MS symptoms now. But I do still have these, you know, Kundalini, like, surges through my body. So yeah, anyway, that's just a little bit about my experience with it, and I'm just so curious if anybody knows anything. Does anybody know anything about Kundalini and MS or nervous system issues? I would love to learn. 'Cause wow, it's been quite a ride, and nobody seems to know anything about who's driving this. Who's driving? So anyway, thank you for listening to me ramble on. I would welcome any sharing that you might have about this and your MS. I love to learn. So thank you so much, and I hope to hear from you.